Morning everybody, how are you today? Welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph. I'm the host of the show. This is the show dedicated to progressive rock and other forms of rock music. So we're back with the series that we've been doing. This is day number 22 of those great rock bands with 2 or more lead vocalists. And now we're getting into the nitty gritty here. This is the top 8. And we're featuring well, before I get carried away, and I did this yesterday as well, this is a series about those bands that have 1 or 2 or 3, maybe 4, a couple of cases 5 lead vocalists who do lead vocals regularly with the group. This particular band has had as many as 5 at times, and at times a couple guys left the band, so then they were down to like maybe just 2 or 3, and then one of them died, so I think they're just down to the 2 now. But all of them are good. You've got this band here, Blue Oyster Cult. This was my first Blue Oyster Cult album, so I'm kind of partial to it in some ways. But there's 5 different singers in here. The Bouchard brothers, Joe and Al, bass and drums and lead vocals, both of them. Alan Lanier, is he keyboards? I think he's keyboards and lead vocals as well. You've got Eric Bloom, also lead vocalist and guitar. And then of course you have the legendary Buck Dharma, also lead vocals and lead guitar, amongst other things. But anyways, so you've got 5 guys you can see here, and you know what? I've been listening to this band now for like 40 years, and at least this particular album, and I still have a hard time telling them apart. I know that sounds kind of stupid. You got 5 guys, they can't possibly sound alike. I guess if I broke it down I could figure it out, but I never been able to really figure it out. I think Eric is the only one that I kind of really know when it's him singing for sure, and he may be the best singer in the band as well, so he's got a really strong voice. To me, when I hear Blue Oyster Cult, I can almost tell right away if it's Blue Oyster Cult because of Eric Bloom's voice. Buck Dharma, of course, is a great guitar player, and he does, I believe he's the one that sings Don't Fear the Reaper, so his voice is fairly distinctive as well, and people that will hear that song right away will know it's Blue Oyster Cult, and he's the one singing that song. Then you have Alan Lanier, the late Alan Lanier, who is a great singer as well. All of them were smooth. And then the Bouchard brothers, of course, who did more vocals earlier on than they did later on, and have since left the band. So really there's only the 2 guys left, Eric Bloom and Buck Dharma, from the original band of members. But some really great strong vocals on these albums. And the great thing about Blue Oyster Cult, because they have so many, let me put this down now, because they have so many singers in the band, none of their albums really ever truly sounds the same. You know, the first one has a little bit of a different sound to it, and then the next one's pretty heavy. Then you got Secret Treaties, which is off the charts good. You've got Cultosaurus Erectus, such a good album. The Agents of Fortune, another fantastic album. And this, of course, this one, Fire of Unknown Origin, and they got a half a dozen others that are good too, but they all sound kind of different from each other. And that's one of the things I like about Blue Oyster Cult, because every time you get a new album you have to reinvent yourself with the band, and it depends on who's singing. If you've got some guys who, like Buck Dharma on Secret Treaties, he barely sang anything, but he's one of the main singers, so then you get a totally different sounding album because of that, you know. Anyways, they've had some progressive rock in their history, and they've had some hard rock and heavy metal and some pop rock and some strange rock if you prefer, but always the vocals are strong with this band, and so that's why for me they had to be on this list of those great bands with 2 or more lead vocalists. So in the comments below, comment about what you think about Blue Oyster Cult's vocals. Do you think that this is one of the great vocal bands with 2 or more lead vocalists? I think it's one of the fantastic bands. And you know, please like and subscribe over on the right there. Is it right? Yeah, I think. Well, it's on my right, it's on your left, I guess. So please have yourself a good evening, and we'll see you again tomorrow with another of those great bands with 2 or more lead vocalists. Take care and goodbye.